Hey guys, welcome back. This is Double Cube Tutorials here, back with another cool Cinema 4D tutorial, and we'll be doing some modeling in this tutorial. So we're going to be creating something that looks like this. So we're going to be modeling this drone kind of a thing in Cinema 4D. We'll be using some cool, nice techniques of modeling, and I'll be doing the texturing as well. So before we start off, I want to give credits to this guy, that is Legitimation's channel, so where he created a speed art, and I just followed the speed art and then I created the model, and I'm going to slow that down for you guys to catch up. So let's jump into Cinema here. I'm going to go and change my render settings. And please don't mind if this thing keeps popping up. And so let's start. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and grab a sphere. So here in the segments, I'm going to set that to 70 segments. I'm going to go to display and choose grab shading lines. And I'm going to duplicate the sphere. And I'm going to set the segments of this to 100. So we have two spheres, one inside each other. And then we're going to go into our top view. Sorry, the top view. And I'm going to take this sphere and I'm going to make it editable, and I'm going to go in my polygon selection, and I'm just going to hide the sphere for now, and I'm going to press UL on the keyboard to get my loop selection, and I'm going to start selecting these loops. So hold down shift, and we're going to be selecting 10 of them. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, and then we're going to hit delete. And let's go back to our front view, and we see that it is not done here, so let's do the same here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. We're going to hit delete, and then let's come back, and we have something that looks like, okay. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go into our front view, and we want to go and choose the rectangular selection tool and uncheck only select visible elements, because we want to select a bunch of polygons over here. So right from the center we want to choose all that, and we want to hit delete. Okay, let's go back to our front view, and we have something that looks like this. And with the live selection tool, I'm going to press Ctrl A to select all the polygons. I'm going to press D on the keyboard to get the extrude tool, or you can go to right and extrude, and I'm going to set the offset to 6. Okay, and then we want to check this sphere back on, and let's actually set the segments of this to 100. Okay. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to go and choose a symmetry, and we want to drop this inside the symmetry, and if you press Ctrl R we get something that looks like this. Okay, let me hide this thing again, and let me just take the sphere. I'm going to duplicate the sphere. I'm going to check that on, and I'm going to increase the radius to around let's say 106, because here we had given an extrusion of 106. So let me just give it a little bit more, 107. And then let's make this thing editable. We're going to go into our top view. We are going to go and select those same set of polygons. So only check visible elements is ticked off, and then we just go and we grab, let's see. Okay, let me just hide everything else for now, so we can have a clear look. Okay, and we want to make sure that we do not select the ones other than those in the center. So let's zoom in. So we gotta be pretty careful with this. Okay, let's zoom out. Like I said, there's some polygons here. I'm holding Control, by the way, to deselect, and we can select all these polygons. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit delete, and I'm gonna right click and choose optimize, and then I'm gonna go in, this is the top view, right? So if you go back to our perspective view, this is what we get. Okay, if I turn this back on, and now what I want to do is I'm going to go to my front view, sorry, to my top view. So we had gone to the, okay, the front view and now the top view, and I'm going to select a series of polygons. So I'm going to press UL on the keyboard to get the loop selection, and I'm going to start selecting 7 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to do the same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to hit delete, and I'm going to select 5 sets of polygons over here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to hit delete. And let's Control Z that. So here I'm going to go and select all these polygons because only select visible elements is ticked off. So let me just go and select all these polygons, and I'm going to delete, and it's deleted. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control A, I'm going to press the D on the keyboard and give it an extrude of 6 again. You know what, let's actually delete some more polygons. So let's go back, and let's Control Z to remove the extrude, and press UL, and this one, and this one, this one, and this one, hit delete. I'm going to select the bottom ones and hit delete again. Now let's select this once again, delete, and select this one, delete, and now we can press Control A and D and set an offset to 6. Boom. Oops, there we go. Okay, and now we want to go take this and drop it inside the symmetry, but as you can see, the symmetry is not giving a symmetry object to both of them. That's because we need to go and press Alt G on the keyboard, selecting both, which grabs them into one. So whatever we put in the null, any number of objects will be edited by the symmetry. Okay. The next step is we're going to duplicate the sphere. We're going to open it, and here what we want to do is we want to go and change this to a hemisphere, and we want to go and to the R, and we want to rotate this to 90 degrees, and then we want to go and give it a small rotation to say -93, and then we want to go and drag it inside this null, and that gives us a kind of a small opening. We can actually reduce this to 92. Okay, then we want to go and grab a cylinder. Here in the object, I'm going to set the rotation segments to 100. I'm going to set the radius to 35, and then let me just set this to 40, and I'm going to go and bring the cylinder up, so to make sure that it isn't touching the bottom. So I'm going to add that, bring it up a little bit more, and then I'm going to go and choose a bool object. I'm going to drag the symmetry first, and then the cylinder. Other way around. A subtract B, let's do A intersect B, A without B. Okay, A without B, that is what we want. Not A without B, we want to A subtract B. You can actually do A without B because that gets the cut. Okay, so next what we want to do is, I think we can go here into this this sphere. What is this? Okay, correct. And I think we can edit it, make it editable, and press Ctrl A, and we want to extrude it inner. No. Let's leave it like that. Let's Ctrl Z it. Okay, you want it to be like that. Okay. Next, we want to go and create a let's see, oil tank. And in the alt, I'm going to set the radius to 35, and I'm going to set the cap height to 10. Okay, 35, and then we can just go and drag this out a little bit like that, or if you wish to, or do not, whatever. I'm going to drag it out a little bit. Okay, so after this is done, we're going to go and grab a new cylinder, and we're going to set the orientation to +x. So let's just increase the height to 250, so it pops out on the side. So we need to make sure that it is coming out on the sides of the protection things over here and not from the inside. And I'm going to set the radius to 55, and I'm going to go and grab another bool. I'm going to drag let's say the first bool first, and the new cylinder we just created. So now you can see we have this empty hole, but that is not what we want. So let's just remove this bool out, and we want to go and copy something. So we want to copy this part. So we're going to take this, I'm going to press Ctrl, I'm going to drag it out. I'm going to go and choose, actually let's go delete that. I'm going to go to this bool. I'm going to take this cylinder actually, and I'm going to reduce this height to a 100, and then I'm going to cut it. I'm going to take this and drag this bool right over here inside, and I'm going to take this sphere and drag it underneath, and let's reverse the order. Okay, so now you get my point. So now we have a cut over here, and then we have a cut over here on the side. So what I did is I just took this sphere and cut it with this, and then I symmetried that, and this bool is there for the, so this bool is cuts this and this, and inside the symmetry this bool cuts this and this. Okay, great. Okay, I think I'm gonna go and take this centerpiece, the oil tank, and I'm just gonna sand it a little bit inside. I don't know. Okay, then we're gonna go and create a torus, and I'm gonna set the pipe radius and the pipe segments to 4. The ring radius will be 100, and I'm gonna set the ring radius to say something like 52, and we're gonna give this a X orientation, and I'm just gonna drag this out. So let's go close in and just fit this thing up just so that the middle part is touching it. Okay, I think it looks wonderful. Okay, and I'm going to take this torus and drop it inside the symmetry as well. Oops, inside the null. So now if we go on the other side, we can see it has been symmetried. Okay, I think we're gonna go take this this torus and push it out a little bit. Okay, and when I hit render, we can see that we have this nice smoothness thing. Sorry, not nice smooth, this hardness, which is what we want. I think I'm gonna push it back in. Okay, and then let's go grab a new cylinder. Okay, let's not a cylinder, let's grab a tube actually. And I'm going to set the inner radius to 7, the outer radius to 10, the rotation segments to 70, and the height will be 20. And I'm just going to drag this out, and oops, let's start the tube. I'm going to drag this out, and I'm just going to place it here. So I'm going to go to my coordinates and just rotate it on the pitch and then on the banking. Okay, something like that. and we're going to go and shove this thing inside. Let's bring this thing down a bit. We can probably move it like that. Okay, and we want to press R on the keyboard, and then we just want to fine-tune this thing. Okay, that looks pretty cool to me, and I'm just going to move this in. Okay, and I'm going to copy paste this tube, and I'm going to press T, and I'm going to shrink it down. First copy paste it, and then shrink it down, and move it slightly up. Okay, and then I'm going to select these both and press Alt G to grab them and put them into a null, and then I'm going to go and choose a symmetry and drag this inside the symmetry so we get one on the other side. And I'm going to go and choose another symmetry, and I'm going to drag this symmetry inside the other symmetry so that we need to get the same thing on the other side. So we go to the main symmetry, and we just want to mirror the planes to XY. So now we have it on all the 4 sides. Okay, and then we want to go and grab a cylinder. I'm going to set the radius to 4, the orientation to X, and I'm just going to go here and place it right here in the center of this. Okay, I can increase the radius to 5 if we want. Okay, I know it is touching on the other side, but that is completely okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna go and choose put this cylinder inside this symmetry, and then I'm gonna select these two and press Alt G, and so we get cylinder on the other side as well. Okay, then let's go and grab another cylinder. I'm just going to set the radius to 8, set this to plus X. We're going to move this out. Actually, let's let me reduce the height of this to 3, and then we want to go and place it right over there. So let's go into our top view so we can have a better look at this. Just put it in over there. Let's go into our front view. Okay, so now that looks perfectly stuck together. And then what we want to do is we want to go and into a new project by pressing Ctrl N, and I'm going to take a circle over here. I'm going to go into my front view, and then I'm going to go choose a rectangular spline, and then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to reduce the width of this and to say something like 200, and I'm going to increase the height to say something like 500, and then I'm just going to move this thing up over here. Okay, and a bit down, I suppose. And then I'm going to hit C on both to make them editable, and then I'm going to go here and choose a spline mask. I'm going to drag both of these into the spline mask, and boom, we have a cool thing over here. And I'm going to hit this, click on the spline mask and hit C to make it editable, so we have one piece. And then I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go into my main one. I'm going to press Ctrl V, and obviously it looks crazily big, so I'm going to rotate this first, and then I'm going to go and choose an extrude, drop the spline into the extrude, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go select this spline mask. I'm going to drop it under this cylinder, and then I'm going to press Shift F12, and then here in the customize commands panel, I'm going to type PSR, and there's an option called reset PSR, so I'm just going to double click that, and now what that does is it resets the access point of the cylinder to the spline mass. So the access point of the spline mass will be same as the access point of the cylinder, and I'm going to drop this back in, and I'm going to go and rotate this thing again 90, and then I'm going to press T, and then I'm going to scale this thing down like big time. And in the extrude here on the X, I'm going to set this to 20, and this will be 0, and probably you can set this to like 3 or something, and then I'm going to shrink it more down, like way down, and actually go to the cylinder. I'm going to increase the height of this, and I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to take this extrude and take the spline and move this in. Okay, that looks cool. Okay, I think I'm going to actually go and reduce the radius of the cylinder to see something like 7. Okay, we can go to the caps and give it a tiny fillet, radius of 0.5 or something like that. Okay, and now I'm going to go and start. I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to drag them into the symmetry here. So now we have it on all the 4 sides. Okay. Okay, one small thing I would like to do is I'm going to go into the spline mask here, and I'm going to select these 4 points. Sorry, only the 2 points because it's a spline. I'm just going to drag all of them up. So if I go into my right view, we want to bring it out to something like that. Alright, let's bring it down a little. So we can bring it down to say something like that. And then I'm going to go grab a cylinder. I'm going to go and set the radius to 4, and the height to 30, and we're going to go to plus X, and we want to go and place it over here. We'll reduce it to say I'm going to go actually to the spline mask and press T, and I'm going to select these. Let me just keep it like that. Actually, I'm just going to reduce the radius of this to 3, and now we have something that looks like this. So let's just push this a little bit in, and I'm going to drop this cylinder again here. So now we have something that looks like this. I think I'll actually go select this cylinder and move this out so that, oops, I'm going to move it out so that it is popping out a bit. Okay, like that, and give it some fillet, say 0.4 or something. We can give it a fillet of 1. Now that's too much. 0.5. I think that would do the trick. 0.5. Okay, push this in, and then we want to go into our front view. Okay, in the front view, we want to go and select an arc. Okay, so let's zoom out, and we want to go to this arc, and we want to actually, let's just rotate it on the banking here. Let's give it a negative 45 degrees, and I'm going to press T and scale this down we want to scale it down, and then we want to go into our end angle and we want to start reducing that, and start angle, reduce that as well. And then I'm going to go and grab a sweep NURBS and a circle spline. I'm going to set the radius of the circle spline to 3, and I'm going to drop in the circle first inside the sweep and then the arc. And if you go into our perspective view, we have something that looks like this. So I'm just going to take the arc and I'm going to select this one to check the world axis, and then we are going to move it like that. And let me just go and pull this up. Let's just go into some of the views, and we can put this up pretty clean and align it. Let's go here. Mesh, axis center, center axis tool. So I'm just going to hold Alt and click this up to move it by small increments. I think we need to move this down a bit. And I'm going to press T and scale this up, a little bit down, and then we want to move this down. And okay, and I'm actually going to make this editable, and I'm going to press T, and I'm going to go to Mesh, Axis Center, Center Axis 2, which brings the axis of this right here in the center, and I'm going to press T, and I'm going to change this to world axis. I'm just going to scale on the X. So I'm just hold Alt. Oops. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, and so you're going to go take the sweep and we're going to drop it inside the symmetry, sorry, this null, and we have a copy on the other side. And then what we want to do is I'm going to go and we're going to duplicate this sweep, and here in the circle I'm going to set the radius of this to 4. And let me just zoom in, and then I'm going to go here in the arc. I'm just going to set this to uniform and get a lot of subdivisions. So let's say around 50. And then we are going to go to the sweep and we are going to change the end growth and the start growth. So if we go here into our front view, I'm going to go and set this down here to say 60, and the end growth we want to set that down here to say something like 80, and then I'm going to go duplicate this and I'm going to set this to 80 and this to 60. Looks like nothing happened. Okay, so yes, so we want to set this here to 20 and this will be 40. Okay, and if I remove the grow shading lines, we see we have something that looks like that. I think I'm going to select the circles. I'm going to set the radius of that to 5, and then I'm going to go select these two sweeps and drop them inside the null as well, so we get a copy on the other side. Okay, next thing is we want to go and here we have a bunch of stuff. So if I just hide this null, it hides this whole thing. So I'm going to go press R on my keyboard and I'm just going to rotate this like that. I want to make sure that I have not selected what is this? Yeah, this one. So for a second I'll just drag this out. I'm going to select this whole null and then I'm going to rotate it like that so it opens up, and then I'm going to take this null and I'm going to put it back in. Okay, and I think that is the end of the modeling. One more thing we can actually do to finish off before we carry on with the texturing is I'm going to go grab a new cylinder. I'm going to set the radius of this to 5 and the height to 5. I'm going to go here and put it on this underneath the cylinder. I'm going to press Shift F12. I'm going to type PSR, reset PSR, and then I'm going to set the orientation to X, and I'm just going to drag this in and put it up over here. So now we have copies everywhere. Okay, so this is how we model the drone, and now let's start texturing this thing. So let's grab a new material and I'm going to call this I, and in the color channel I'm going to choose a blue color, something like that, and I'm going to uncheck specular. I'm just going to go reflection and I'm going to set the brightness to 15 and the blurriness to 10, and I'm just going to take this and drag it on the eye. Okay, let's grab a new material and I'm going to set the color of this to black, and in the specular I'm going to set this to 45 and I'm going to set the height of this to 30, and then I'm going to go into the reflection and set the reflection to 15 and the blurriness down to 15, and in the color I'm just going to reduce the brightness down to something like 85. Let's actually keep it 100. Let's create a new, let's actually duplicate this black material, and we're going to go to the color and we're going to set this to a white. We're going to duplicate this material again and we're going to go to the color and we're going to set it to a gray, to say something like that, and then we're going to go duplicate this material again. So now let's start applying these materials. You can take the black material and we can put it on these things. You can take the white material, put it on this. Oops. Actually, let's go one by one. So let me just delete this sphere. So here inside this bowl we have quite a lot of stuff. So let's add a white material on this cylinder, and we have this sphere, and so we are going to add this white material again. Actually, we want to add this gray material, and we have this sphere, and I'm going to add the white material on this sphere. There's a cylinder, you're going to add a white material on that, and this sphere we're going to add this gray material. Oops, sorry, the white material. So we have a white, gray, white, and for this torus I'm going to put this black material. You can close this up, open up the symmetry, and here we have quite a lot of stuff. So on this tubes I want to add this gray material, and on the cylinder I'm going to add a black material, and here on this cylinder I'm going to add this gray material and black material on the extrude, and on this cylinder we're going to add a black material again, and on this sweep I'm going to add this black material, and on these smaller sweeps I'm going to add a white material. Okay, and on this cylinder I'm going to add this gray material. So I think this is how we create the portal object, drone sort of a thing, whatever you call it. And I think this oil tank is too big, so let's just shrink this, just bring down the height of that, and I'm going to push this up. I think I can even increase the size. Okay, so this is how it looks. So again, thank you guys very much for watching my tutorials. I hope to see you in other future tutorials, and please like, share, comment. You can, say whatever you want in the comments, any tutorials, any requests, or any plugins that you would want, or anything of that sort. And keep modeling and give me support, because that's what makes a guy on YouTube grow. So anyways, I'm talking too much, so I'll just say bye-bye and take care.